Hello, audience. My name is Dawson. His name is Justin.
Hello.
So, about 5 weeks ago, one of mine and Justin's favorite networks, our favorite channels, were shut down. And those channels being SourceFed Nerd, and subsequently people be like and Nuclear Family. But basically, what we're going to focus on today is more of the SourceFed Nerd side of it, the kind of two original channels for the network, besides, of course, the Philip DeFranco Show. But it's hard to talk about because it's still a fresh wound. It's not like it's been a year. It's not like it's been 5 months. It's only been a couple of weeks.
It's literally just been over a month.
And already the channel SourceFed Nerd has been bought and has been rebranded to a show or channel called This Is Nerd.
NowThis Nerd.
Or NowThis Nerd. Isn't there a channel called This Is something?
It's called NowThis Nerd.
Okay. Alright. NowThis Nerd. And we literally just found this out like 10 minutes ago. So, apologies. And yeah, so Justin, before we get into NowThis Nerd and our thoughts about that, because I feel like we're going to be a little bit fired up for that. Let's talk about the SourceFed Nerd, and a little bit of our history with it, and how we felt about this whole thing, and just talk about them. Let's give them the well-deserved spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
So how about you start first?
So, I have to admit that I was more of a fan of SourceFed Nerd rather than the main channel. That's just because I liked stuff like Nerd News and the videos like that, which is 100% the inspiration for our series, Nerdum News. I won't lie,
100%.
It's basically 100% takeoff of that.
Yeah,
with a few extra letters to the title.
Yeah, we're not even like trying to hide the fact that once SourceFed Nerd ended, literally like 2 to 3 days later, Justin from a shower thought said, "Hey, we loved this series, especially him. He loved that series so much, and he misses it. Why don't we just do it ourselves?" And that's the whole inspiration of Nerdum News. And
I have to admit, we will never do it as well as they did. They were the best when it came to getting any kind of news on anything, basically pop culture.
Yeah.
And we will never be able to take their place.
No. But we're basically trying to fill in our need, our gap.
Yeah.
With this, and that was our inspiration. And you know what? We're still trying to do it as the best of our abilities. But like Justin said, we're never going to take the place that SourceFed Nerd had. It can't happen.
Mm-hmm. I really did like Sam, Whitney, and Philip. They were 3 really cool people to me. Though I have not really been watching these channels for the longest time, but I did spend like a year watching these channels.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit more than that. But as for the main channel, it was starting to get a little bit tiring for me, but I used to really like Table Talks. I watched some of their podcasts. But I still had a very big love for their Coworker series, which I watched those whenever they were posted, and they gave me a lot of laughs.
Oh yeah, their Coworker series are some of the best videos that SourceFed has produced in a very long time. I mean, they just it's a whole thing of like these people had such a good connection, a good camaraderie, chemistry. They felt like good friends. They clicked very, very quickly. And though there was a big kind of change to the new hosts, being Ava, Candace, Steve, and what's his name?
Mike.
Mike. Sorry. They still, they tried, and I say they succeeded. They brought SourceFed up in ratings and numbers and subscribers, and a very long few months within, which in YouTube, having a few month drop, it can hurt. It can hurt really bad. And they brought that up. And with the coworker series and stuff like that, they did a really good job. And so yeah, sorry, but continue.
It's just I've really been missing nerd news. I liked having like very good, well informed videos on basically anything that I was curious about. Like, oh, this new movie's coming out. Here's all the things you need to know about these characters that you probably never heard about before, and like
Yeah.
here's some possibilities of what other things they could do within these series of movies and just stuff, videos like that. I freaking loved them. And
Yeah.
then a lot of times when it was Philip in the videos, he would talk about like Tesla and their future tech.
Yeah.
And I loved hearing about that too.
Yeah.
I basically any nerd news video they put out, I loved, and then a lot of their. I also really like SourceFed plays, which was also part of SourceFed Nerd.
Yes.
Those were very funny to me up until the very end last stream when they did the last SourceFed plays. But that's pretty much my thoughts. How about you? Since you've been watching them for a lot longer.
I basically ended up at SourceFed in the first few months of production. They were this cast of people that I have never seen on YouTube, and YouTube really had never seen before. They've definitely pioneered this whole news network thing on YouTube. Like, we did have newsy people like Phil DeFranco, the man who started it all. But for him to create more of a network, not just for news, but for more social experiences, more social experiments. Like, they did have a show where it was like curbside something. I don't remember exactly what it was called, but where they would go on the streets and talk to people, and they would ask questions and do that kind of stuff. Like, it was like a very fresh new experience for YouTube that nobody was doing and nobody had the balls to do. I mean, it was a very risky move for them. And, with the whole, the original trio being Lee, Joe, and Elliot, and then bringing in Steve, Trish, and Meg, I mean, these people were the funniest group that Phil could have ever, brought together, and they did something. I mean, they won awards. They started movements for people. They gave people a reason to like the news in a new way. I mean, it's not just this whole sad sorrow, kind of bullshit, false facts that we get in today's media, but more fun, lighthearted. Here it is, straight in your face, but also here's the funny side of it. Here's some jokes, here's some skits and stuff, and that was just so refreshing. And then when Steve, Meg, and Trish went and made SourceFed Nerd, I mean, that was a huge thing, because I was this nerdy kid that didn't really have many nerdy places to go on the internet. And when they created it, I mean, day one I subscribed. Day freaking one, when they dropped the teaser trailer, I subscribed to SourceFed Nerd and I never went back. And they made some great content. I mean, SourceFed Plays was one of the huge things that they did when they brought over Table Talk, a huge thing. Table Talk being, one of the biggest, one of their biggest shows. They had the white wall, but Table Talk, you actually got to know these hosts. You got to hear their stories. They just had fun doing it, and it was so hard to see it go. But there was 5 years of all this stuff. 5 years of Table Talk. 5 years of like Nerd News and all these different shows. Like, there was Anime Club, even Superhero Roundup. They had the White Wall. They had all these great series. Like Justin said, coworkers do stuff together. I mean, there was so much to watch. There's so much enjoyment. There was something for everyone. I mean, if you subscribe to SourceFed or SourceFed Nerd for one show, you know, I mean, that's what it is. I mean, there's some people that literally just subscribe for Table Talk, that just subscribe for Nerd News, that just subscribe for the coworker stuff, for White Walls. I mean, but there was so much content that was just for everyone. I mean, no matter where you clicked on that channel, there was going to be something that you would have watched and enjoyed. It was just such a special channel, special network of very talented people when it came to the hosts, to the writers, to the producers, to the camera people, to just everything that they had over in the SourceFed offices. I was there for 5 fucking years of my life, and you know, I've seen everyone, and I know everyone, and you know, and then now, you know, having it end, that whole 8-hour live stream they put on. I watched every single minute of it from the very beginning, which me and Justin missed. I went back and watched that all the way till the very end, when it went basically black for the last time. You know, it was very special, and it helped a lot of people, and it helped me a lot through very tough times I had. And I mean, come on, it was a channel for everyone, and it was very, very special. I can't say that enough. It was a very special channel. But now, Justin, you know, if there's anything else you have to say it now. But you know, I want you to move us into the bullshit side of this all.
So I really forgot my first introduction to the channel, besides the tune what you talked about it, was I did start watching with Anime Club. I didn't stick around with the channel because they didn't do much of Anime Club, but I did watch those videos at the when that was my first introduction to the channel. So yeah, I completely forgot about it till you mentioned Anime Club.
Yeah.
But just looking back on it now, I really missed that too.
What?
Looking back on it, I really missed those videos.
Yeah, I mean, they literally had a show or something for everyone. I mean, they made a lot of content that worked, that didn't work. You know, that they kind of pushed along until it did work, or you know, there's just like there was so much stuff that they had. I mean, it's crazy. Their catalog of videos and shows were just massive. Yeah.
So moving forward, NowThis, as a little bit of background knowledge, appears to be a channel not too unlike SourceFed with their white walls. Basically, it's just a news channel. And then NowThis Nerd is basically the SourceFed Nerd to the SourceFed. It's just the companion channel, but specifically targeted for the geeky subjects like movies and games and comics and stuff like that. Yeah. And I've been going through social media, and I've watched a video or two, just trying to find out what all the past creators from SourceFed and SourceFed Nerd have to think about this. And it seems like legally they can't say too much, but you can tell there is a sense of distaste from all of them.
Oh yeah, there should be.
And it's just the bullshit feeling of you should work for your community, you should work for your growth. You shouldn't just take someone else's community and take their growth and take their channel. Even though they got it legally by buying it, it still feels like it's a matter of taking it and taking what doesn't belong to you.
Yeah, this is just a matter of business. I mean, just like Meg Turney said in her video, it's just business. It's the business side of YouTube. It can be shitty. This is not the first time this has happened on YouTube. I mean, there's so many other channels that have been bought out, smaller channels or big channels. I mean, this is not the first time. I mean, fucking Philip DeFranco was bought by Discovery.
I mean, now he's free, but...
Now it's free, but I mean, there's so much of this in YouTube where just because the person who has their name on the channel doesn't mean they own it.
Yeah.
So I mean, but this is like this whole thing of where, like Justin's saying, where it did feel like in the about 3.5, 4 years that SourceFed was around, SourceFed Nerd, they built up this whole million subscriber plus thing. I mean, there's a whole live stream they did just to get surpass the 1 million subscriber thing. I mean, they've worked for this for so long, and they made such great content for so many years, and for that to not only be shut down, just kind of like right under their feet, be pulled from right under their feet, but only a few weeks later to be sold off and then kind of rebranded and pretty much be the exact same fucking channel.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like you said, it's a companion channel to a SourceFed esque channel. I mean, you can't say that's a ripoff because SourceFed is just a news channel. There's so many news channels on the internet, but also to have a nerd channel that is literally SourceFed Nerd that they just took. I mean, it's terrible. It's awful. It's a fucked up thing to do. And you know, they said in their introduction video that the producer of This Is Nerd, is that what it is?
NowThis Nerd.
I keep on calling it This Is. I don't know where I heard This Is. NowThis Nerd. This Is Nerd sounds a lot better. NowThis Nerd. He said that, you know, we have the exact same agenda basically as SourceFed Nerd had, and we want to bring you guys nerdy content in movies and TV and comics, just in everything that there's nerd pop culture in. We want to bring that to you. You know, we have our own lineup of hosts. We have all this kind of stuff. He basically described what SourceFed Nerd was and acknowledged it as their kind of inspiration for this channel and what they're going to be doing, you know, going forward. And he said that, you know, we want to inspire and to bring great content and make you guys enjoy what we're bringing to you, just like SourceFed Nerd did. And, you know, we're basically going to take what they did and do it ourselves now. It's really fucked up. And it was such a short time ago. I mean, 5 weeks ago, Justin. Not, you know, it's little over a month ago that they did this. That it ended, and then it just pops up on the subscription feeds, and people don't like it. People are they're, you know, I'm sure that these.
As the last time I checked, I just wanted to use this for reference sake of how much people don't like this. As the last time we checked, the video had about like 400 thumbs up and then like 8,000 thumbs down.
Yeah.
And the channel has lost thousands of subscribers just within like the past hour or so.
I'm looking up the live subscription thing. So just continue talking.
I mean, it's just everything about this just rubs you the wrong way. Especially, this might just be a thing for me, but the guy in the video literally said, "I am a nerd." It's like, okay, so just like saying that just always feels like it rubs me the wrong way. Saying like, "Yeah, I'm a nerd. How about you fellow nerds?" It's like, okay. If you want to show that you are a nerd and into these nerdy things, then basically say it without saying it. Like, say, like, oh yeah, I'm into these comics, I'm into these things. Like, say you're into these, like, fandoms. Like, but don't, like, say it that you don't mean it, but don't just say, oh, I'm a nerd. What's up, fellow nerds? It's like, it just...
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's crazy to see this. I'm looking at their analytics. So you can't look up This Is Nerd yet on the Social Blade like live feed where you can find out the upload, subscribers, video count, you know, all like the suspected earnings, you know, how many views they've had, just all that kind of stuff. And so you still have to look it up under SourceFed Nerd. But basically, as of right now, while we're recording this video, it has 1,009,337 subscribers. It has, in the last 30 days, they have lost, or Or wait, so they didn't say when they lost, but basically basically they've lost 2,000 plus subscribers over the last 30 days.
Which, to be fair, that could be some people just unsubscribing because the channel has been over.
Oh yeah, totally. And then also, it's now owned by a network called Revision 3.
Which I think I've heard of them before. I think Franco has mentioned them before when talking about stuff like that.
Yeah, Revision 3, which I'm pretty sure the video that I talked to you about, Justin, right before we started recording this, I think the title of the video had something to do with Revision 3, and also NowThis group, this networking they had, this channel thing, the branding of NowThis, it also had to be in that video. But the last 30 days view count is 10,670,280 views, and it looks like they're still making money, obviously. Like, in the last 30 days, they have made $42,000. And also, the daily averages, they make, so I mean, this is the higher end, of course. Like, in the last 30 days, they've made between 2.7 thousand and 42.7 thousand, and also the daily average is $89 or $1,004. So I mean, and you can see, you know, it's the grass for SourceFed Nerd or NowThis Nerd, and you know, it's, oh god, they've pulled in income by buying this, not only because of people watching old videos. I mean, the network that owns this now, Revision 3, is going to be claiming the money from old videos and also the money from these new videos. So, you know, the people behind the old SourceFed Nerd videos are basically being fucked in the ass now, because all their hard work for all those many years is now just being claimed by somebody else, and they're getting the revenue from it. So it's just fucked up, Justin. It's bad.
It really is.
It's not. God, it's not.
Everything about this just rubs everybody the wrong way.
Yeah, and now I'm looking at the. Oh, well, they just lost a bunch of people. I'm just looking at the live feed now, and they're losing subscribers like crazy. Now they're down to 1,007,855 subscribers. So they just lost over 100 just in the last few minutes. And it's still going down. I haven't seen it go up at all.
It won't go up for at least a while.
So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if
it dips down below a million.
Oh yeah, it's probably going to. I mean, 7,000 people unsubscribing. I don't think that's an unfair judgment call to this thing. I mean, I'm literally watching this. Like, it spiked about an hour ago because probably people coming back and being like, "What the fuck is this?" And now it's just at a steady decline of viewership and subscriber loss. So it's ooh, they fucked up. Because these are the wrong people to mess with. I mean, not only are they messing with nerds, but they're messing with people who have watched this channel very what's the word I'm looking for?
They've been dedicated to this channel for a while.
Yeah, they've been dedicated to this channel for a long time. And, you know, they have only been gone for a very short period of time, and it's already left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths because of the short, abrupt cancellation of everything, and all these people losing their jobs, and now they're just coming over and saying, "Hey guys, we're here. You know, we want to make the exact same videos they made. Hope you guys like us. Fuck you, but you know, we own this channel now." These people don't seem mean. They don't seem like they're like bad people.
They don't seem they have bad intentions. They even said in the video that they were saddened by SourceFed Nerd being taken down, basically. But it's just It's just hard.
Yeah, it's something that if they wanted to make this whole nerd thing, do it themselves. If they had a dedicated audience, then they could have done it themselves and not bought people's doings, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, people's hard work. If they just bought people's hard work and doing exactly what they did and trying to tell the people that they have good intentions, which I'm sure they do. They're just a nerd channel. I mean, just like anybody else on the internet that does nerd news. But you know, if they had that dedicated audience, they didn't need to steal someone else's.
Mm-hmm.
Which apparently they didn't, because like Justin said, you know, when it comes to the two channels called NowThis, I mean, they're not that. They're not that. What's it called? Reputable? Not reputable. Sorry, I'm sure they're probably reputable, but they're not. They're not. What's the word, Justin? Where people post content often. I'm so flustered.
They basically, for lack of better words, they seem to. Okay, so to break it down, one channel, the one channel called NowThis has over 1 million subscribers, but that channel hasn't posted in like around a month. But there's another channel called NowThis that has 30,000 subscribers, but they post more frequently. So that leads me to believe that something happened to the first channel and they had to like start from scratch or something like that.
Sure.
So this is just, I don't know. I don't think there's much left to say on it. It's just, this whole situation sucks. And it really just blows to see how this all went down.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts?
It just feels like a back alley transaction. Kind of a backstab to fans.
Mm.
I'm going to stay subscribed for just the mere fact, and I want to see what they're going to do.
Yeah, same.
I want to see what they have to offer. I don't want to be one of those people that say, because I watched their video. I watched the May the 4th video that they put out, which also May the 4th be with you. Happy May the 4th. I want to see what they have to offer, because it wasn't a bad video. The host seems genuine. They seem like genuine people. It's a shitty situation. It's a shitty thing. People are just kind of trying to work, I guess. These new hosts, they're just in for the work.
Mm-hmm.
But I just want to see what they're going to do with it. You know, I'm sure there's going to become a time where I might unsubscribe or something. I don't even know if I want to unsubscribe, because I've been subscribed to them for so long.
Yeah.
It just feels like, a waste of, I don't know. The sub count's still going down. I'm sure it's going to dip under 1 million in the next few days. I'm just sad, Justin. I'm just very sad.
Same.
But I think that's it. I don't want to keep on digging at them. I don't want to keep on saying the same things over and over again. I don't want to get anything wrong factually. So it's better just to stop talking now than get something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
That's pretty much it for us, guys. Let us know down below. How are you feeling about this whole situation? But until next time, guys, we'll see you later.
Bye.